What's going on, everybody? The Don here. Now, we're going to be going over a pretty big market watch, like a lot of cards, so I just want to give you a heads up. If you check back to our last market watch, we were right about a lot of things, and I mean, let's be honest, with One Piece, it's kind of almost predictable as far as some of these card prices due to the limitation on stock and, well, the predictability of how much people are willing to pay for these cards. Listen, I think the One Piece card game market is insane right now, and I do think a lot of cards are going to be overpriced for months, up until probably February when the prices start calming down. Looking at sealed product, you can see Romance Dawn is insanely high in value because there's so little of it available. Had there been a ton available, well, the prices would be a lot different. With the next set coming out, Paramount War, it might be the same situation. Hopefully not, but we don't really know. One thing I want to say is the singles prices on One Piece, these One Piece cards, all over the place. And I do have an opinion as far as whether you should buy or sell these cards. I think that's very important moving forward, because a lot of these cards are really expensive, but they're not going to be expensive by the time we hit February, March. It's not going to happen. The prices will go down. So what's going to go down? If you like this channel, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below. I do a bunch of One Piece content. I've been doing a video, like at least one video every single day, talking about a ton of different decks. I play every single deck in the game, and I will have those decks on my channel the second I go to events and play them, and you'll see it there. I'm also live on Twitch, Twitch TV, YJ_Paisano. I greatly appreciate you check it out. So go ahead and do that. Let's look into the first card. So at the gate, we have Monkey D Luffy. So this is the pre-release winner. This card sees no play and is solely meant for collectors. That's it. That's all there is. The thing about One Piece and Bandai in general is they love making cards hard to get a lot. Like every set, here's a new Chaser card. There's new, and every card game does it, but they did it before they actually released a set, being the One Piece Monkey D. Luffy pre-release card. Now, I do think this card's going to be worth a lot of money. I think people are going to go crazy for graded cards. I'm not a fan of graded cards, so I can't really talk on that, to be honest with you. But I do think that's the route you would see these Monkey D. Luffy's going for. If you own one of these in your binder, sell it. It's just not worth it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the price has been increasing, and more likely will continue to increase as these cards all get graded and there's less available single supply. But if you have one in your binder, it's like having a $1,000 bill in your binder. Why? Don't you want max rarity decks? They look definitely better than one card sitting in your binder. We also have the Nami parallel. Now, I'll be honest with you, I want 4 of these. And in time, I will own 4 of these. The thing about this card, what makes this card so good is the fact that, well, let's look into the future. This card is going to see play in the next set. Zoro's going to become almost tier 1, if not the most dominant tier 1 deck, I would argue, in the next set, Paramount War. I think Kaido becomes good around February, but realistically, Zoro is going to be the card that everyone's going to be playing, the leader everyone's going to be playing. With that said, if you're playing Zoro, you need Nami. Now, here's a couple of options. You have the regular Nami that comes in Romance Dawn. No big deal. Card looks nice and dirt cheap. Cool. Everyone has Nami now. You have this Nami, we'll get to in a second, and you have the other Nami, the anime-style art Nami from the manga coming out middle of next year. Now, February/March to middle of next year is a pretty long time between each other. And I do think Zoro's going to see play, and I do think Nami's going to see play, so this would be the highest rarity version of the Nami. Even with the anime manga style Nami out there, I still think the parallel Nami is going to be the one that people are going to prefer more because the artwork looks absolutely insane. Had the anime style Nami did something in this style of artwork, waifu artwork, it'd probably be worth a lot, and it still might be. With that said, I think Nami currently at $180 is going to go down a little bit in value. And the reason why is simple. Not many stores are playing the events this past weekend. Starting next weekend, we might see the price rise a bit. I do think Nami's going to surpass easily $200 consistently up until... Man, it's hard to say, but this card will increase in value. But I think we're going to see a short decrease before that increase, within a span of about a week, 2 weeks at most. Then we have Roronoa Zoro. So the leader cards are starting to stand out in all the One Piece card games. We're starting to see a lot of these leader cards stand out as being valuable. Now here's the thing though. Unlike a lot of leader cards I'll talk about in a second, the Roronoa Zoro leader card is really good. It's probably the best version of this card. The biggest flex if you want the highest rarity. And if you do, well, no big deal. It's going to run you $120 a copy. $120. Now, you could wait on this card until middle of next year. They're going to have the anime-style art Roronoa Zoro. I think that looks better than this card. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if people start selling this card when those manga promos come out and we get the manga promo anime-style art Zoro. That card looks amazing. But until then, I wouldn't be surprised if this card goes up even higher because, once again, this is going to be one of the biggest leaders come out Paramount War. It's going to be the biggest. Do you have one? It's gonna get more expensive, by the way. It's not gonna go down. It might come down like by $5, $10, but this card's not stopping. It's crazy how fast it's moving. All right. Up next, we have the Roronoa Zoro Parallel Rare. So in my last Market Watch, I said there's going to be a promo version of this card coming out that will be worth more money. And I do agree with that. I do 100% see that happening. With that said, if those promos are insanely hard to get, no one's realistically going to be able to have a playset in their deck as easily. So this would be the most expensive version of Roronoa Zoro. So looking at the Roronoa Zoro's price point, the promo, the parallel version, the price was stable for a while around $80 to $90 mark. It shotgun up yesterday, past 100, by the way. I know because I bought one of these yesterday, and now the price has kind of calmed down. You got one over here at 92. But then it goes all the way back to up to $110. These are all from verifiable sellers. And the reason I always pick verifiable sellers is because they're the ones with a proven track record that people will more than likely buy from. These other sellers aren't bad, but they're still relatively new. People go with verifiable. So you go from 93 all the way up to $110 that fast. Do you have one? Once again, this is something that I would slowly, if I was you in your shoes, this is what I'm doing. Here's my plan. I'm slowly buying the Namis, and I'm slowly buying the Zoros. Because come Paramount War, you want to be set. And you're still going to need to get the Whitebeards, which also have their full art. This is only for max rarity. If you care about low rarity, ignore everything I just said. It's a money card. Pull it, sell it. Good for you. But for those who want max rarity, slowly buy this card around 90s. Do not buy past 100. I do think in time it will go past 100, but especially this week would be the biggest opportunity to go ahead and grab this card, but do it sub 90. 92, 93 bucks? Sure, why not? But if we're seeing it around 110 for a Zoro, I would not recommend doing that. There's only a limited amount of players that will actually buy and play with these Zoros. They'd rather spend the 25 bucks. They'd rather, instead of buying one of these, they could buy 4 of the other one, and they're good to go. And they're not wrong, by the way. So I do think this is a great card, but anything past 100 is scary, especially that the other version of Zoro is currently at 25. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, Law. I think Law is a great deck in the game right now. A lot of players have fun playing it, and obviously Law went from as a leader card from like, look at that, 30s, 60s, and now what's Law going out right now? It's roughly around $95. Listen, I think Law is a great card of the game. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Law does top events. Can it win an event? Possibly, actually. A lot of decks can, and Law is no different. It's a card that comes in with 4 life, and I think the minute we get a deck that's more aggressive, I think these decks, cards like Law and some other multicolored leaves that are 4 life would be a little more of a threat, but I don't think that's going to be happening until March. I think Law is a great card, but is it worth $91? Well, yes and no. You see, Law is worth it, but we see in February, with the release of Paramount War, with the release of Structure Deck starting around February, really realistically March, what we see is Law slowly start fading away. Still there, but it slowly starts fading away as more decks come in. Meaning, like, if you don't have this, $91 might be a little bit too expensive. The price of Law, I do think, will be going down. Then we have Don Quixote. So, obviously his channel is called The Don. I'm a huge fan of Don Quixote, a massive fan, and I like this card. But is it too expensive? Look at the current price point, it's roughly around $95. After that, it starts hitting near $100. Is it worth it? No. And here's why, though. Even though I'm a huge Don Quixote fanboy and I want a max rarity Don Quixote deck, eventually I'll probably get one, let's be honest. Is it worth it getting this card? Not really. Blue gets replaced consistently. We go from Don Quixote to Blue Crocodile. From Blue Crocodile to that other blue leader. I can't say that name right? I always forget the name, but the other blue leader. Don Quixote isn't going to last us consistently all throughout the next set of the Paramount War. Meaning that the value of Don Quixote will be going down, especially with the release of the next set of Paramount War with the new blue leader. So, is it worth it? Well, only if you want to have a max rarity Don Quixote deck and you need to finish your deck, sure. Other than that, the value of this card will 100,000% be going down. Then we have Boa Hancock. It's waifu tax. Don't get me wrong, the card does see play. It's currently $87. It went a lot higher than that, by the way, hitting roughly around, I think I saw it around 100, but it says over here 93. Boa Hancock's a great card. The artwork looks absolutely amazing. There's another Boa Hancock waifu artwork coming up soon, by the way, in the next sets. So it's not like we're not going to be out with Boa Hancock waifu cards. We're going to have a lot of these. This card does see a lot of play right now, but will it see play in the future? Not really. And since it doesn't see play in the future, even though it's a gorgeous looking parallel rare and everybody wants this card, the value of this card will be going down in value. No doubt in my mind. It will 100% go down in value. Though I will say this card looks amazing. And hopefully the One Piece makes a playmat. The waifu tax is strong. I want like a Boa Hancock. So here's my idea. You get a playmat. Right side Boa Hancock. Left side Nami. Like that playmat would be absolutely insane. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, a lot of One Piece players, all card game players will want to have that playmat because, to be honest with you, the waifu tax in this game is crazy strong, and Smart on One Piece is taking advantage of it. All right, then we have Law. So the Law card obviously spiked in value. Green is still going to see play. Law still going to see play. The value is roughly around $77, and to be honest with you, I don't see this card slowing down. If you look at the market, though, it looks like it's starting to slow down, but I don't even believe it. I mean, you see it trying to fight to slow down over here. You see a dude over here at this over here. Then it had a huge spike, but even then, it was like fighting to stabilize. I don't think Law is going to stabilize. I do think this card is going to continue to increase in value, though I think the speed is going to be very slow. So is it going to increase in value? Yes. But it's not going to happen immediately. It's going to happen very slowly as players realize that green's still good. It just depends on the deck you play it in. Then we have Monkey D. Luffy. Let's be honest with you. If you bought this card, it's probably not because you're playing this Monkey D. Luffy. You bought it because you want to fish your set of parallel leaders. If you look at the price of this card, by the way, even in the past month, it spiked from 22 all the way to 47. And now if you look at it, it's still pretty high. It's roughly around $56. This card sees almost no play, but this card is also needed for a lot of people fishing their collection of leaders. And I don't blame them. Like, I'll be honest with you. Having a set of all the parallel leaders in one piece, you probably feel damn good. Like, it's one of the very few times I can say in card games, we're wasting money on something. It just feels insanely good when you're buying it. You look at it and you're like, I got this. So I understand it completely. But for anybody else looking at Monkey D. Luffy and saying to themselves, oh no, this is a good leader, I don't think so. I think this is a terrible leader. It's Monkey D. Luffy. It's the main character. Everyone wants it. Then we have Crocodile. So here's where things get really weird. So the price of Crocodile was roughly around at one point at 35, then it started slowly going back down to 30. The price of Crocodile right now is $73. $73 for Crocodile. And there's a Crocodile deck out right now in the game. And people really don't know what's going on with Crocodile. People are trying to jump the train. The artwork of this card looks absolutely amazing. Luffy's mom looks gorgeous. But is it really worth it getting Crocodile right now? Hell no. I would almost argue if you own this card, I would almost argue for you to sell it, because the price of this card is going to be going down. Watch this. If you've seen the past month, I wish I could zoom in more. The chart has finally stabilized. Don't get me wrong, it's saying 50. Obviously, it's 73, so you might see it go back up again. But it's stabilizing, meaning the only way for Crocodile to continue going up in value if it's to show more total playing results. And I feel like Crocodile, it's only because it's going up in value is because it was a PPG event where Crocodile won that case tournament. And good for that player. Great for that player, but I feel like once people realize what this deck does, they can stop it. It's like I said in my last video, a Market Watch, and people know how to stop another leader, we'll talk about in a second, then that leader is not good. And I think that's what's happening with Crocodile. There's no way to consistently say, oh, I know how to stop Kid. All right, cool. It's still going to happen. And he's still one of the best decks. Or I can stop Zoro. Okay, cool. He's still going to rush you in your face. And listen, he's one of the best decks. You can't really say that with leaders like Crocodile. Or I know how to stop Crocodile. And they're like, well, it's still going to happen. All right, fucking try. And I think that's what the problem with Crocodile, where players can see what's going on. They see what you're going to do now. And now the surprise is over. And I think that's where Crocodile's going to start going down in value. So I would recommend maybe even sell it. Oden was the other leader, by the way. Oden was the leader who really spiked up in value. People started seeing more play him. He went from about 23 all the way up to where he is right now, roughly around 48. I would argue Oden has even stabilized. You can see over here, it looks like it's trying to stabilize. Don't get me wrong, this looks like a great leader to have as you want order leaders in your binder, but Oden's garbage. I'm sorry. Like, the only reason Oden would be good at your locals or wherever you're playing is because the people have to read your Oden. If people have to know what Oden does or learn what Oden does, yeah, you have a massive advantage. Same thing with Crocodile, though. If someone has to go, wait, what does that leader do? Hold on a second. What does that leader do? Then you have a massive advantage. The second they go, oh, I know what Oden does, you're in a world of hurt. I'm going to have some videos on my channel coming up soon showing you guys about Oden, showing some gameplay footage. And like I said, if I could go to locals and they don't know what Oden does, I'll talk about it. I'll say, hey, these people don't know what Oden does. Watch this. But the second I play against somebody that goes, oh, I play Oden, I know what he does, that's a whole different ball game. And I do think Oden gets less good when your opponent has more knowledge. You can't really say the same with something like Kid Eustace or Zoro. Yeah, let's say the players bought 2 average players. That's fine. Those decks are going to do what they do. But when you get Oden, I think people can counter him easily. It still looks like a great artwork, by the way. And let's be honest with you, if you're going to get all your leaders, you got to get this card. It looks amazing. All right. Captain Kid. Watch, how crazy is this? Okay, so once again, we'll go back in the past month. It did spike from about $30 to where it now stands about $40. You can see it over here about $41. Captain Kid is probably one of the best green cards in the game. Arguably, if you want to say Law's #1, I wouldn't disagree with you. But Captain Kid, or maybe Law, the 5-drop, but Captain Kid is still one of the best green cards in the game. Is he's playing the next set easily, and maybe he doesn't see play as a 4 like I see he's playing now. I do think he'll see play as a 4 up until the release of the Paramount War. But listen, Captain Kid is still a great card. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy 4 of this if you want max rarity, but you want to at least have maybe 1, realistically probably 2 Captain Kids, and that's probably what I'm going to be going for. Once again, my goal is to get all these cards ready for the next set, all these cards ready to have max rarity decks. That's my goal. Can I hit it? I don't know. We'll see on the channel. But I will say this: I think Captain Kid as a parallel looks pretty cool. The artwork looks great, and I would recommend anybody who's looking to get a nice max rarity deck or get the highest rarity, get at least 1 or 2, as it will still see play in Paramount War. Now, with that said, is it worth buying 4 of these? Unless your green's your main deck, it's just not worth buying 4 of these. The card's $40. But I do think the card value will increase, though. I think more people are still going to want, in order to finish them extra rarity decks in the next set, they're going to want to go ahead and turn around and buy Captain Kid. And imagine buying something from a short printed set like Romance Dawn, and then coming and say, I want to buy Captain Kid, but you can't because it's sold out. Obviously, Romance Dawn. So what's going to happen to the price of Captain Kid? It goes up in value. Then we have Don Quixote, Doflamingo. Unlike the leader Don Quixote, this card does see play in almost every blue deck throughout the next set. In the OCG, it's still seeing play. So the price of this, I think, is going to be going up even higher. I wouldn't be surprised if this card doubles in value, or at least touches around the $70 price point. If you look at a month chart, it's trying to fight to stabilize, but it's losing that fight every single second. Look at the value of the card currently, it's around $40. Don't get me wrong, I love this card. I'll probably get a place of this card eventually. I'm trying to finish off red, so I'm trying to get my Namis and my Zoros, but once I'm done with that, blue is exactly what I'm running to, and I'm getting this card, and I highly recommend anybody who wants max rarity want to pick up this card, because this card still sees play. It's insane. And imagine this card in any other color, how much money it would be worth. Well, in blue, even though blue's not the most popular deck, a lot of people still like the Don Quixote deck, and they're still going to play this card. And like I said, in blue is going to continue, no matter what the leader is, to still run this card. Then we have Blurple Crocodile. So Blurple Crocodile obviously spiked up in value recently. Not really too crazy. $31 to about, I mean, it's currently saying $48. It's not bad. My opinion on Purple Crocodile, I would expect this card to have a little bit of a short decrease in the short term. In the long term, realistically increase. I think Purple Crocodile is a great deck. The thing is, once again, I think it takes 2 things that are decent, blue and purple, put them together. But does it do it as good as, like, Don Quixote? Does it do it as good as Kaido? I don't think so. I think Blurple Crocodile, Blurple Kaido is a really good leader, but I don't know if it can consistently win. Can it win at locals? Can it win a case tournament? Probably, sure. And yeah, the price will then spike from this card. But will it win a big treasure cup? I don't think it can. I think Purple Crocodile and Don Quixote will do better universally over Kaido. We have to see the stats once those events, deck list results come out. I'll post them on the channel, by the way. All right. Kaido. There are so many people that just don't know about Kaido, and it blows my mind. In my opinion, when we start having the treasure cups, especially post-starter decks, Kaido becomes one of the best leaders. The reason why is because Zoro hasn't been given all the stuff it needs in Paramount War, and the treasure cup is in a unique opportunity. It's right before the second set, but with the star decks coming out. And during that time, that short time, the smart players are going to go to Kaido. Think about it. What deck can easily beat Kaido consistently? Not many. I would argue Zoro Rush or Luffy Rush, sure. The issue with those decks are they don't get all the gas until Paramount War. So they have to play with the limited amount of resources versus Kaido. And like I said, with the release of the structure decks, I think Kaido gets better. And I think a lot of people have to realize that. And I do think if that was to be the case, and inevitably, in my opinion, I do think we're going to see Kaido top a lot more events during that time. I think Kaido, especially the parallel out of Romance Dawn, the 10-drop leader, which is the biggest nuke in the game, $40, it will double that. This card would rise. I'll give you a little backstory. Real short. I bought 3 of these. Parallel. I bought 3 Kings parallel because I think 10 Kaido with 3 Kings, if you do the ramp correctly, that is insane. And against the majority of the matches, that's game. And I think Kaido's ability to ramp so easily will allow him to do that. And I think that Kaido will be once again, like I said, one of the best, if not the best deck, if not the best deck in house to beat in the upcoming February Treasure Cup events. So, with that said, I do think Kaido's going to be worth a lot more money, minimum double in value. If you look at the market price, the market in the past month, it's trying to stabilize. I don't think it's going to do it. Then we have Monkey D. Luffy, Parallel. This card doesn't really see play in the new ramp decks. It sees it sporadically, so I do think it's worth it. It's also a One Piece card, so, I mean, it's Luffy, One Piece. It's $36. I think for collector-wise, I mean, the artwork looks absolutely amazing. I want to get 4 of these, and I don't even know if I want to play this, you know, come the next set, but damn, this card looks good. I do think it will increase in value. Sanji. So this card is the the definition of a mediocre parallel. It's a card that if you pull, you go, all right. But if you don't get it, you go, all right. Like, you just don't care. The only people who actually want this card is those who are getting max rarity red decks now. With the release of Paramount War, I don't think Sanji sees as much play. At most, OC2. So the value obviously is showing that. The card did go recently up to $50. And right now, that's roughly around $38 for a Sanji. I do see this card price going down in value more, as players that might even need this, if they consider it, we need to add it to. So the amount of want is just way less than the amount of actual need. The value of this card will definitely decrease. Shanks, Parallel. This card's only good up until the release of Paramount War. That's it. After that, this card is cheeks. It goes in your binder. You'll probably sell it. That's it. Shanks Parallel, coming out of Romance Dawn, started with a starting price of $70, is down to $36. Predictable. Don't get me wrong, I think this is a great card, but it's a one-off in almost any deck. If you're playing 2 of these, sure. You're playing 3 of these, you're catching L's at locals all day long. You are the buy with a deck box. I do think Shanks is a great card, but that's the way I see about this card. All right. Crocodile. Once again, I like this card a lot. The artwork is amazing. Luffy's mom looks gorgeous in this picture. The price, obviously, I mean, you can see it's stabilizing over here at 18s, and I think that's where it belongs. But it started shotgunning up, and now it's roughly around $33. So why is Crocodile 33? Well, once again, because the purple Crocodile top, and players are starting to play this in Doflamingo. Now, me personally, I don't think this card's good in Doflamingo. I don't think it is. I don't think it's needed as like a 3 of or 4 of. Could it be a 1 or 2? Possibly. But a 3 or 4, I think you're just wasting time in cards. Don't get me wrong, like I said, the artwork looks gorgeous, but is it worth it? It's really hard to say, because we do transition from blue Doflamingo to blue Crocodile for a very short time before Paramount War. So I do think that Crocodile is good for blue Crocodile, but once again, like I said, is it worth it? It's hit or miss. I do think the value does subsequently, though. It's inevitable. By the time we get Paramount War, this card tanks in value. No doubt in my mind. All right, Draco Mihawk is still seeing play. This card has not been respected. It's been roughly around 20s, and you can see right now it's roughly around $37, and it makes perfect sense for this card. One, the artwork is absolutely amazing, of course, but 2, and more importantly, this card still sees play, and that's important. You want to buy a card now, parallel-wise, that's going to see play. Like, now, not today, but, oh, Romance Dawn comes out, oh, Paramount War comes out, oh, the Starter comes out, cool. This card sees play throughout all that, the value will, at the very least, stay the same, if not increase, in which I expect this value to increase. All right, King, same thing as Kaido. That's it. I just saved the entire conversation. Don't get me wrong, I like the artwork of King, the regular artwork of King, more than this one, but it's higher rarity, so I buy it. That's it. I bought 3 of these. The value of this card right now is currently roughly around $29. Like I said, you can do whatever you want to do with information. This card will be going up in value. The play, by the way, the trick is you run 3 Kaido and 3 King by the time we hit February. I'm just throwing it out there. A lot of players are going like 2 or 1, and then they're bitching when they don't see 10-drop Kaido. Okay, thank you for being a buy. You run 3 10-drop Kaido, 3 King, because the goal is to drop 10-drop Kaido, and then after, if you use Onishima Island, you by your next turn you have enough time to drop King and then wash him, because there goes their blockers. But yeah, I made a video talking about King. Go check it out. Kaido. Go check it out on my channel. All right, Roronoa Zoro. The card really spiked for a short amount of time. You see it hit around 29s, and now it's back down to about 25s. You can see right here at 25. But watch this: 25. 26. Remember, only go by verifiable sellers. And then starts hitting around 27. This card has a 12 wall at 27. An 8 wall, but 8 walls doesn't mean nothing. Two play sets, this card's gone. A 12 wall at really $27. And I think that's the real price of Roronoa Zoro at the moment. Now, do I think this card's going to increase in value? I think it'll start rising a bit in value, but I don't know if it's gonna hit $50. I think when we last week when we initially looked at this card, we were like, it's gonna hit $50, and it rose real quickly for a very short amount of time. I think it rose around 35, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, I think this card is a great card, and obviously if you don't want to get the expensive Zoro, you can buy a playset of these roughly. And I do think this Zoro is really good, and you're gonna need it if you're playing any red deck. If you're playing a pure red deck and you're not playing a Zoro, you're not playing to win. You're just playing because you don't have enough value in your deck. No big deal. Yeah, you don't have enough money? Hey, man, we all got money problems. Christmas ripped us apart. But you can't say that this is not a needed card in a deck. With that said, and this card looks absolutely bang of a card. This and the R, they both look great. With that said, I think Zoro is definitely a great card that will be needed for anyone playing red or considering to play red. And I do think as we start hitting January, and maybe even late January, early February, the value of this card does increase a bit. The minute we're in Paramount War, that's going to be fun times for this card's value. Then we have Kinemon. This card's going to be used, obviously, in the Kinemon leader deck, allegedly. Realistically, you play this card in Oden. That's where you play this card. This card's insane in Oden. Kinemon was roughly around, you can see over here, like $10. The value doubled recently to $20 for Kinemon. You get this card if you want to play Oden, if you want to play in a local, because that doesn't know how to beat Oden. That's it. And you want to flex with them with max rarity Oden deck. And you want to do that? Hey, no big deal. Looks kind of clean, to be honest with you. But the minute they start wising up to what your deck does, you're in a world of trouble. So it looks good for now, but it's not good long term. You just got the quick. And those who own a place of this card probably got it when it was $10, if that. All right, King. You bought this literally because you just like to have every single leader in the game, or you accidentally pulled it and nobody wants this card. King is the cheapest leader in the game right now. He's roughly around $20, $21. The value it was 24, and it just fell to like 17. Listen, this card looks there. Even the artwork, look at his eyes. Like, one eye's here, one eye's there. It's Quang. Listen, I think this is a cool card. It looks great artwork-wise. The ability's dog shit. I do think it's a great card, though. But like I said, you're not owning this card because you're looking to play that dope-ass King deck. You're owning it because you're like, I own the King Parallel, and I'm working on getting the rest of the leaders. That's the rest of that sentence. I love box toppers in this game. I hope we get more box toppers, but one thing I think that's really almost assured is the current box toppers out of Romance Dawn should be way more valuable than what they're currently worth. Imagine this. Romance Dawn comes out. There's not many product of Romance Dawn. Okay, so a lot of these other cards go up in value and go crazy, right? The box toppers come one per box. How valuable are these? Well, to be honest with you, some of them are pretty valuable. Piranha recently spiked. It actually hit at one point roughly around $19. Then the market dumped into it, so now it's like $13. It stabilized for a while. I bought my playset around 10s each. But looking at it, I would say it's $13 to $15 for a Piranha. You need 4 of these for almost every blue deck. This is going to see play in every blue deck. No doubt in my mind. As a 4 of. This card, in my opinion, is going to be insanely expensive. It will hit $25, no doubt on my mind, and it's going to do it fast. You blink, this is $25, no doubt on my mind. So if you don't own Piranhas, damn, man. Then we have Yamato. Okay, I like the way this Yamato looks, by the way. I actually pulled one of these. The value's roughly around $19. Great card. The alternate art is like $80, but the pre-sale was like $115. It went down to $80. Then after that, it quickly goes to 85. Is Yamato going to be good is the question you're probably asking yourself. Yes. I do think Yamato's good as a tech card in a lot of decks. Meaning, as a tech card, it's not a 4 of. It's not a mandatory. It's not that you have to. You play it because you want to try to spice your deck up. It has double attack and banish, which is huge, but it has to get that off. Can it? Kinda, yes, sorta. That's why it's a tech card. Don't get me wrong, I think Yamato's a card that everyone needs to own if they're looking to play anything green in One Piece. And I do think that Yamato as a card is a great card for a lot of players that might want to add it to future decks. I mean, once again, a 5-drop for 5, yeah, it should be 5-6, but 5-5s, whatever. But double attack and banish is huge, actually. Like, if you get a double attack with Yamato, no deck, I mean, that's massive. Crocodile is banished, and he's a 7. Yamato's not inward banished at a 5, and also has double attack. Absolutely massive. You want us to deal with this immediately. And it's also counter 1, which is great. A lot of these cards that have amazing effects don't really have counter. It's like you hold it because it's good, and that's it. What I'm trying to say is, if you have Yamato, cool. If you don't, listen, I think the value will go down. I think it's going to go down all the way to about the end of February. Then it's going to start going up as people realize you need this. So it's up to you. I think this one looks great. I own this one. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would love to get 2 of these. And you only need 2. If you're playing for Yamato, you're playing to lose. I think 2 is a great number. All right. Ulti Parallel. This card has been slowly fighting to stay up. If you look at the past month, it's been embarrassing. I mean, it went 24, 21, 26, 25. It's currently at 25 right now. Is this card good? No. Listen, as someone who's a huge fan of Kaido and loves every single Kaido deck in the game, every build, I don't see many builds playing Ulti. Is it look as a card? Hell yeah. But is it worth it? No. I think the value of this card will be going down soon as players opt not to play this and play other cards. Listen, The other ulti at a star deck at least does more for you. It's a 2 counter where this is not even counter at all. It could bring another card out. Like, I think this is a better card, and this should have been the effect of the full art one. If it was, then we'd have a entirely different conversation. Then we have Boa Hancock. Now, once again, we did a full art. Here's the regular version. The regular version obviously went as low as $4 because everyone thought Doflamingo was going to be like a side deck, a tier 2 deck. Doflamingo is becoming more and more of a serious threat to those who are unprepared for it. And I think a really good player, just like a really good law player, can play Doflamingo at an insanely good level. Decks that are pure color like Kid, well, you can be an average player and play against a really good law player. And I think that's kind of like the power creep between these two decks. With that said, though, I think you have more fun playing blue. Blue's a great deck. I love the blue deck. And obviously, Boa Hancock is a great card. She was so dirt cheap, but now she's like almost near $10. Fun fact, she'll be hitting 20s real quickly. Arguably 25s, as she is the Roronoa Zoro of blue cards. Not same effect, but same value, same impact. And I think this card is absolutely massive in any blue deck. And obviously a must-have into the foreseeable future with the release of Paramount War. Then it's hit or miss. All right. Don cards. I don't think I got a chance to... this is a long market watch. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but whatever, man. I'm trying to go over every single one of these cards. We'll do these like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It's just really important because the prices are just constantly moving fast in this game. Don cards. Every set will have a Don card, no doubt. The first set has a fucking Luffy down card. Or Luffy, depending on how you want to say it. Don't get me wrong. The next down card, I believe, is a Shanks down card. Looks amazing. Hopefully, we get that Zoro down card. If you guys seen the anime where he's saying they're covered in blood and he's like, I'm straight. Whatever he says. It's like, that's probably my favorite down card because I love Zoro and I love that, like, that scene. With that said, though, no joke, this card is going to be worth crazy money. Because, I mean, once again, it's Bandai. Could it be reprinted? Yes, if they do with a killer value, you goddamn right. But if they don't reprint this card, if they keep releasing newer and newer Don cards and don't fuck with the Don market, I think this card's gonna be absolutely insane. Once again, it's kind of like the box toppers where it was guaranteed 1 per box, except you need 10 of these. Like with the box toppers, you need 4. They'll be valuable. This you need 10, number 1. Number 2, it's the main character of the entire One Piece storyline, and the value's been all over the place. Currently, the value is roughly around $9. If I was you, I would, before getting any max rarity card, I would get the Don Luffy. Absolutely. Like, if you don't get Don Luffy and you get your other deck's max rarity, you're doing it wrong. You get 10 of these. Hell, I have 11. I have an extra one. So when the price gets really crazy, I can sell it and get a free parallel. That's the way I see it. A free parallel of the current set in the future. The more of these you can get after 10, think of it that way. Because this card, in my opinion, is going to be worth a lot of money. Unless Bandai does Bandai thinks it reprints the crap out of it. They do. Bandai really, man, you gotta mess it up with the boys. All right. Avita Box Topper, same thing. It's going to be like Perona. It's not as good as Perona, but it's going to be up there. She'll hit like 15 to 20, no doubt in my mind. The value went as high as 9. She's back down. I mean, well, technically, we're shipping 9. This guy has a lot of sales, but whatever, 7, but he only has 1. She's around $9 for Alvita. I think she'll hit at least $15 minimal. And the reason why is because, once again, waifu tax, box topper, and Sosie's play in the future in future blue decks. Saying Nico Mamusha is another card. I just bought my playset recently. It's currently almost near $8. This card has been increasing steadily. And once again, these box toppers are the cards nobody's really talking about. Everyone's like Parallel Shanks. Oh, Manga Art Shanks. Oh, Manga Art Nami. Bro, show respect to box toppers. They're insanely hard to pull. Yes, they're almost a guarantee technically, not realistically. And I do think box toppers are the cards that people need to get because as time goes on, once again, you can't go, oh man, I got Paramount Dawn, but I need a Viper Cat. No big deal. I'll just crack open some Romance Dawn. Is it going to be available that easily? Is it? Ask yourself. And then we have Shanks Parallel. I say this one for last because it's the best for last. Everyone wants to own one of these, but these are one of those cards you own, and it's kind of like all the parallel. You get your page 1 binder, your page 1 of your binder, all parallel leaves, and then you have Shanks, the OG. Obviously, this is a card everybody wants to have. I want one. I don't own one, and I'm dumping a lot of money into this game. Eventually, I want to get me a Shanks. Obviously, I think it's important. The card is absolutely amazing. And then you can turn around, and then you can look at the next set. I believe it's going to be Luffy's dead brother, or Luffy's brother, who may or may not be deceased. Sorry, I don't want to give spoilers, even though this show's been off since like the 90s. Listen, I think it's gonna be great. I think, you know, to have a Manga Art Shanks, a Manga Art Ace will be the biggest flex in your binder. And listen, Like, it's up to you guys. I'm an older man. I don't buy these cards to flex for you. I buy it for me. I wouldn't mind buying it. I look at it every now and then, and you just feel damn good. And that's what I feel when I look at a Shanks card. If I was to own one, hopefully I'll get one of these soon, and of course Ace soon, because these manga cards look absolutely gorgeous. And that's why I think the binders are gonna be great. It's sold out already. The date of pre-order was already done. I just bought one. I was going to buy 4. I'm only buying one of these, but comment down below. Let me know if you bought those. People are going to buy a ton of these to resell. I just want for my collection. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Do you like market watches? Do you not like market watches? I like doing these, but doing these every single day is tiresome. This is almost a 40-minute video, but I wanted to go over every single thing. Once again, like I said, if you're new to the channel, please comment down below. If you have any questions about cards, why don't you go check me out on Twitch. I stream One Piece, or remote One Piece. It's really fun. I'm trying to play every single deck. Right now, I'm between Law and Kaido, which I'm playing currently. And maybe in the future, I'll be playing other decks. But I do think that One Piece card game has a lot of great decks right now. And all these almost unless you're playing King or whatever. Like, there's no wrong choices for a deck. It's only wrong ratios of cards in your deck. And let me know what you guys think about that. Do you like these max rarity cards, or do you care about low rarity? Comment down below. Let me know. Listen, guys, this is Don. You guys have a great day.